Okay, sorry, I'm just writing a few notes down before this thing kicks off. I'm going to be posting here in a sec. Okay. So I'm just going to force advance here. And we're on to the next week. Oh, okay, here's one of the 5th year options. I mean, this is interesting. Who is asking for it? Mitch Trubisky. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Yes. Yes. I do not like that. uh, that might shift some plans. Still rich. Okay, here's the league signs. I didn't sign anyone, so we'll go through the QBs. Someone did pick up Mullen. He was actually probably one of my favorites on this board for QBs. Doesn't have the best arm, but has probably one of the better accuracies in really any. Definitely Bridgewater and Tannehill. Uh, Jackson, yeah. Easton Stick. Can't remember what people were going for him. Glad he landed with the team, and then there's Taysom Hill. So there's only Easton Stick and Nick Mullins that were picked up. Nick Mullins was a good move by the Packers. I like him a lot. Howard went with the Bills. Someone did go with Howard. Glad he found the team. Richard, I think, went first day or second day. Dwayne Washington went this time around. He went to the Ravens. McGuire, I think, already took. Boston Scott, I think, was already taken the first day. Fullback. Colts found Hewitt. And Aaron Rukowski, I like him too. Bills are making a lot of moves so far that I like with this team. Rukowski, I had him in with my Titans team, always guarding for Henry or Josh Adams. I picked up on that team, and he was superb for what I needed him for. Watkins with the Jets. Seems like a team he'd go with. Phillips or set was one out. I'm surprised with this because I think Cardinals was going big on him by the Bills. Another good move. King Cole, I already did. Bourne, I think stuck in there. Cheap contracts. Falcons are sniping people right now. Not uh, after other people just are lowballing players and getting them real cheap. Let's see, Jarwin, Ellie Cox. Not a big fan of this one though, because you're already paying enough for Doyle, enough for um, Doyle and Ebron. So you just put a big chunk of your cap by getting another tight end. Probably could have just gone with a 7th round blocking tight end. Selleck, that was a nice move for this one. I don't know how good he is anymore. I didn't really take a look at him, but if you're looking for just someone for short passes, it might be perfect. Left tackle, yeah, we're with that. DJ Humphries was one out by him. Then we got Lewis by the Saints. That's a decent contract. Yep, we're with there. McGovern's. So he got center. McGovern's got picked up. Leary. Glasgow went. I think he was still up. Went with the Titans. It was a good move. Redmond Fox. Yeah, he's going low balls for people here. Belugash. That was a good pickup, except for the fact that I don't think he really needs one. If I recall, he still has a rookie on the outside. Um, he might now. He might need one. There's Ifade. That was a good pickup. Reamers. Vernon. He got him for. Nah, the bonus made a little too much, but 1 year contract, that should be good. You got Sherrod. Anza. Yeah, Falcons are being smart. You don't have much because of Matt Ryan with that contract. You got a few big contracts coming up. The biggest problem is trying to get rid of Matt Ryan because I know most Falcons owners hate him. And so he's doing some nice small contracts. hopefully I can get that team uh, roster fixed well next season. Derek Wolf is already picked up, Agba, and Hyder. Sue went with the, yeah, I saw this right before I advanced. Sue going with Broncos, because he did lose quite a few players. He's defensive ends, for sure. Yeah, we already knew about Reed. Tim Jerrigan, I don't know why he keeps on going. He's a 3-4 defense, and he has 5, 6 defensive tackles. Darius Elias, yeah, again, saw this too. Robert Quinn, that was a smart move. Josh Martin, we knew about. Logan Ryan, Suggs. Vanoy with the Broncos. AJ Klein with the Bills. We got Golden and Deshaun Davis. Cole, Darren Lee, Giants. Sweet Cravens. Cannon with the Bills. Payne, and Luis Gilbert. Okay, Zach Brown, Dante Fowler, Nick Perry, Dodge Reed. Okay, James Collins Sr. with the Bills again. Let's see. Yeah, because Bills had a couple holes on that defensive front. I know. They need to get fixed. Brenson Mukamara, he went. I would definitely put Norman as a safety, but he's already stacked at safety, so we'll see how that works out with him. Dan Worley, Levy, Crowley, and next. Also, no one went with any more corners. That's surprising. Cordy, Sean Davis was the one that I think was picked up, and Ron Parker as well. Yeah, Will Parker, Josh Jones, and Thomas Mikas. Yep, and kickers. They got Bryant now. Carson went there, and Gario Santos went with the Browns. Punters. Koch with the Browns. Schmidt with the Giants, and Vogel with the uh, Ravens. So that's all we got for the signings. Let's see. No, not my negotiations. I don't have any. Wilkinson's still out there. Got Cam Meredith. That's a fight some people are having for. Let's see. I'm just going to go through the top 100. David Moore. Yeah, I'm surprised no one's going more for him. Let's see here. Yeah, Will Henry. Probably another small contract. It's typical what we've been seeing with the Falcons. Sam Martin, a punter. Yeah, things are seeming to be slowing down here a bit. Foreman, a good running back, power back. I liked him when they had the Texans in one league for a little bit. Michael Davis. Oh, Mike Ford. Yeah, filling up those bottom slots and that, probably those teams. Pruitt. He's a good tight end. I liked him when I had him. And here we go, Morgan Fox. So yeah, the looks like we're ending at 72 overall when it comes to the top 100. So there's still some decent names out there. Sorry. Definitely some decent names out there if you're just needing to fill some holes. If your draft isn't looking like you're going to get the player you want, you need to just get a nice little backup too in there, some rotational players. There's definitely some names up here still. I mean, Chris Thompson, Keep to Leave, obviously Cam Meredith, Lamar Miller. I mean, get him in a good contract, you should be fine. Definitely Greg Olson if you need that good tight end. So the other thing I want to talk about before I head off is for the draft. We are having a what you call it? During the draft, we're having it Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Uh, then on top of that, I will need. I'll put up in the Discord tomorrow recap of who's going to be able to attend and who's not going to be able to attend. That's going to help me along the way and decide who's actually got points and earning for the incentive program. And that's also going to determine who I can just set on autos, and we're not sitting there waiting about 2 minutes for a team that owner is in there to make a pick. Then what else was there? Yeah, and there's no train during the draft. once we get to that draft phase, I think it locks out that week of the draft or the week before it. Once we get to that phase, there's no drafting during the draft. The reason because it slows down the entire process. I mean, you're looking to add, could like give me 3 minutes or so, but it adds up uh, just by the delay. And that because most drafts without doing trading usually takes maybe 2 hours to fully complete. Um, two and a half at worst case scenario. But I am starting it directly at 10, maybe a few minutes later, but it shouldn't be too much longer than that. And then we got, depending on how everything goes, I'm going to be stopping at preseason for 24 hours. That way people can make their cuts down to the 53-man roster if they need to make them. I am turning injuries off. You are allowed to play your first preseason game. I'm not banning anyone from doing that. I think it's just a good way to just get used to your team anyways the first time. But with injuries off, it won't affect you stat-wise or anything like that, so you'll be fine. And after that 24 hours, we start week one. It's gonna be that 48-hour timer now, with an additional 24 hours if need be. So we're gonna try to push for 48 hours advances, but we understand. I mean, I know most of you guys are in other leagues, so we're not gonna enforce that 48 hours. We're definitely gonna try to keep it 40 hours or 20 or 72. That's what it was. At least keep it between that time, because we've had a few games where they're just showing up late minute, and it slows everyone down. Everyone gets sort of anxious or wants to continue playing, and we want to keep activity going here. We definitely can't have things slow down as much as we did towards the end of last year. And I understand why. I mean, people are just getting drained into the season. Playoff options are not there. Um, but then we got, once we finish that first 24 hours, we start week one. Again, 48 hours with a additional 24 hours alternative time if need be. But that'll be it for the stream today. Again, next advance will be random hours. We should hopefully, I think it's one more day of free agency, um, or it's just a review day. I'm not sure. If it's a review day, next advance, I'm just going to advance it to the draft. Um, that way we can see scouting and that again and get our draft board set up. Um, but if that's now, if I'm pretty sure you can't trade during the NFL draft phase, and so I would make sure you guys get your trades in tomorrow before I advance. And it's gonna be in the evening again. It's not gonna be like midday somewhere like there. It's gonna be evenings again because I know some people live on the West Coast, and I want to make sure they get at least some time in to pop in and pop out. So that'll be it for today. You guys have a good rest of free agency.